One of the biggest disasters that can happen to a computer is not being able to boot. If the computer can't boot, then you can't access your desktop, your files, and your data. And if you can't fix this issue, you need to reinstall Windows 10 from scratch, set all the PC configuration back, and install all the applications again. I let you imagine the time it will take and the pain that can generate. The recovery drive will allow you to start your computer in the recovery mode, where you can reinstall Windows 10 as well as gaining access to the command line tools to repair disk and startup problems. So without further ado, I'm going to show you how to create a recovery drive. From my Windows 10 desktop, I click on the Windows Start button. Then I click on Settings. In the Settings search bar, I type Recovery. Then I select Create Recovery Drive. I click Yes. The Create a Recovery Drive wizard is easy to follow, but you need to pay attention to this checkbox here. Backup system recovery to the recovery drive, and it's enabled by default. As mentioned here, if you backup system files to this drive, you will be able to use it to reinstall Windows. If you uncheck this box, your recovery drive will allow you to start your computer in the recovery mode so that you can troubleshoot it using the recovery tools and the command line tools. But you will not be able to reinstall Windows 10. I prefer to have the possibility to reinstall Windows 10 in case the troubleshooting doesn't work. So I keep this option enabled and I click Next. Now the wizard is preparing the system to create the recovery drive, and it can take a few minutes to accomplish. At this step, the wizard asks me to connect a USB drive that must be able to hold at least 8 GB of data. Be aware that all the data on the USB disk will be deleted, so check your USB disk before you use it. Okay, so I insert my USB disk. I open the VirtualBox device menu, expand the USB submenu. The menu will show you all the USB devices available, and that can be connected to your virtual machine. So I'm going to select the ADATA USB flash drive. This is my ADATA USB drive I plugged in my laptop. This way, my virtual machine will be aware of this USB disk and will allow me to use it. As you can see now, the virtual machine has detected my USB drive and give it the drive letter H. Now the recovery drive wizard will analyze the USB disk to check if there is enough space to create the recovery drive. Again, I get the warning that my USB drive should be at least 8 GB in size and everything on it will be deleted. Here I have the available USB disk with the drive letter. I'm okay with that, so I click Next to continue. A warning again, thanks, I'm aware. I'm going to click on the Create button to start creating the recovery drive. This process may take several minutes to hours, depending on your computer speed, so be patient and wait till the process completes. Alright, the recovery drive is now ready. I click on the Finish button to close the wizard. So now let's open the Windows Explorer and check the USB drive content. Here is my USB drive. The recovery drive program gave it the name Recovery. Here you can see the system folders and files necessary for recovering my system. Now let's check the USB drive content size. The data size on the USB drive is about 5 GB. So it's less than 8 GB initially claimed by the recovery drive program. But this size can change depending on each computer configuration. Now I'm going to ask you to grab a USB drive of 8 GB and create a recovery drive for your computer, following the steps shown in this lesson. This is very important so that you can recover your system in case it's damaged and avoid yourself a pain of losing your data as well as your configuration.